Hi everybody, Billy Moan here, Rambling Rose Studio, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I wanted to talk to you about the Fringe scissors. They've been on back order. Some of you may already have them. They're $9.95, and I wanted to show you a couple of things that you can do with the Fringe scissors. And when they come back up for order, which I think is the 25th of this month, and you can get them, I just want to show you that it's a really neat tool to have. And there's a lot of things, other than even what I'm going to show you today, that you can do with them. One of them is this flower. And the rage is this ombre effect where things fade in and fade out. So I made a flower like that. It's cherry cobbler, real red, calypso coral, and crisp cantaloupe all together. It's one strip for each color, 2.5 by 11.5, scored at the 1-inch mark. And I'll show you why in just a minute. Now the leaf I showed you all that the other day, how I do those leaves. I just think a little bit of green makes everything look better. So let me show you. I'm going to put that over there. Here's another one. This is made with 4 strips, 1 strip of each color. And here's one made with 2 strips of white and 1 strip of yellow. So I just finished this one and it's still wet. So I spritz mine really well just to bend them and kind of fix them like I want them to look. So there's that one. Let me show you. Here's what you would need to make that yellow and white one. 1 strip of 2.5 by 11.5 scored at 1 inch. And then 2 pieces of white, 2.5 by 11.5 scored at 1 inch. But here's a little trick I wanted to show you about the Fringe scissors. They're very sharp, they're very easy to use. And I can remember when I was younger cutting fringe with a pair of scissors, one little line at a time. But in this instance, what I want to show you to keep you from having to do what I did initially, don't use the tip of your scissors. Start up here towards the middle or even more of your fringe scissors and cut to your score line. Now you do not have to be exact with each one. You just want to cut up to that score line, go all the way down. Let me just do this one strip for you, even though I know that's maybe a little bit boring watching somebody fringe a piece of paper. But let me just do this one for you and show you what I do from there. They're really sharp. They really are very easy to use, and I think for $10, this is a tool. I love tools. They don't ever go out of style. Okay, so there you've got it fringed, okay? Then you're going to take your sticky strip and run it just on the other side of your score line. Here's my goopy scissors I use for all sticky cutting. Pull your sticky strip off. It never comes off when I'm filming. But I watch other people doing theirs and they have the same problem I do. So, sticky strip is so sticky. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can get this owl to get it off. Good grief. Don't you love it? It seems like every time I film, something happens. There it goes. Yesterday I was filming. I probably shouldn't tell you this. I was filming, and 3/4 of the way through, the camera fell. Can you imagine all that prep work and everything, and the camera fell, and I had to start all over. Okay, here you go. So you've got your sticky strip on. You just started rolling it. If you've done the burlap and blossoms wreath, then you know. You just start rolling it. And, you know, keep it fairly tight. You don't want it to be loose. And just roll it on itself all the way up. And then you do the 2 white strips just like that and roll them right on top of the roll you already have of the yellow. And then what I do is I spritz it really good with water. I mean, I get it wet. And then I just start pulling on it and kind of shaping it. And as it dries, it stays. You can even bend some of these little in the middle, and they'll stay that way when they dry. It's kind of neat. But anyway, you can just play with it a little bit. It's not a big deal. Just kind of pull them back or up or whatever you want them to do. And when it dries, it will stay that way. Wet paper is so pliable, and you can do so many things with it, shaping it. So the flowers are one thing you can do with the Fringe scissors, and they're really pretty. And then, of course, you know, even when we were little, we made grass. So here's a little bit of grass on this card in a box that I've already showed you earlier. But, you know, a little grass is always cute, particularly at Easter time. And then here is an ombre card made with those colors of that first flower. And all it is a 4 1/4 inch strip by, I think it's like 2 inches, and I scored it at 1 inch and then cut up to the score line and then just stacked them up. So, and on the inside, yeah, I did a little. So, there you go. I just thought, remember not to use the tip because it'll split your paper, and then some of the little fringes fall out. So if you start back at least halfway or more to do it, then you're going to find that your fringe scissors work a whole lot better. So I hope that was interesting for you today, just a quick little tip on the Fringe scissors, and that you enjoyed that and that you'll come back to see me.